How's it going, everybody? I'm BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Concerns arise over spot Bitcoin ETFs and their impact on Satoshi's vision. Joseph Tech, a Bitcoin analyst at Treasure, believes that the concept of a spot Bitcoin ETF, an investment product that would trigger the tracking of BTC prices through the custody method, contradicts the idea of Bitcoin, which emerged with the concept of self-custody. They also believe that it could pave the way for a larger number of BTC to be stored with centralized locations, accessible by the government, very similar to the 1930s when they confiscated gold in the past. And much like gold in the past, they are worried about paper Bitcoins being created by these exchanges because no one can redeem the underlying asset, meaning if you buy Bitcoin through an ETF, you don't really own any Bitcoin. You just own a paper version of Bitcoin. The exchange can hold this Bitcoin, but then again, it leads to more centralized entities holding the Bitcoin and less decentralization. U.S. Congressman vows to oust Gensler from the SEC in 2024. In a charge recall change, Davidson has publicly declared 2024 as the ideal time to dismiss Gary Gensler, the current SEC chair. His bold assertion is not merely a statement of intent, but a reflection of a growing discontent with the leadership and aspirational direction of the SEC under his tenure. Under Gary Gensler's stewardship, SEC has adopted what many call a regulatory by enforcement regulatory posture. This strategy has not only alienated key players in the crypto industry, but also raised questions about the SEC's broader regulatory effectiveness and fairness. Just look at DebtBox. Taking his criticism from words to action, Congressman Davidson has put forth the SEC Stabilization Act. This piece of legislation, if passed, could fundamentally alter the SEC's structure, leading to Gensler's removal from the current position. The bill seeks to enhance the SEC's accountability, transparency, and responsiveness to the needs and dynamics of a modern financial market. By advocating for the removal of the accredited investor rule, Davidson also aims to democratize investment opportunities. This potentially opens the door for a wider range of investors to participate in lucrative market deals. Starbucks Odyssey members can win a trip to Costa Rica in 2024. Starbucks is rewarding their loyal customers with a chance to win a trip to Costa Rica in 2024. The top 20 eligible members with the most Odyssey points on January 1st, 2024 will qualify for the VIP experience in March. It's pretty much all expense paid. They'll pay round-trip airfare, accommodations at the luxury resort, exclusive activities, and events. Winners will also have an opportunity to get some inside information on how Starbucks makes their coffee and how they source it. The 2023 Starbucks Odyssey collection is now available, and it gives members a head start to earning Odyssey points for 2024. This includes challenges that can be completed by January 1st, 2024. So if you're interested, here's the official website. One thing to note though is they're already sold out and you'll have to scroll down to buy them on a secondary market. And the first one I saw earlier was like $1,700, and that's 17 times what they originally were. Over on the Dixie for the daily, we are pulling back to that 100 area, very close to that 99 range that we have been warning you about for quite some time. Stochastic's coming down, RSI is coming down, money flow is coming out, that VWAP is struggling under that neutral, so if it continues to round away here, we could see the bears take over, bring that money flow lower, momentum will push lower, and we will see further losses, potentially push into the golden pocket of this Fibonacci retracement zone. If you don't know what we just said, we'll break it down in a second real slow, but this Fibonacci retracement, if you're not sure what that is, visit our Trading Basics playlist, visit the Fibonacci retracement video. They'll show you how to make this golden pocket because it's not there by default, even if you find it on your own. So real quick, our indicators that we have are Market Cipher B edits and Market Cipher A free version 1.1. These are free on TradingView, so you won't have to pay the $100 for the other market ciphers. Stochastic is the stubble line. It has orange and blue. When orange is above blue, we have bearish pressure. When blue is above orange, we have bullish pressure. Right here, you see blue above orange, we push up. orange above blue, drop down, orange above blue, drop down. Then our RSI is this red line. This red line gets its strength from the double line. That's stochastic. The RSI stands for Relative Strength Index, and it shows how the strength of the last 14 candles is. It curling down shows the last few candles have been selling off. We are right around that 30. When we are under 30, we are bearish, meaning we have more selling pressure. When we are over 30, we're bullish, meaning we have more buying pressure. So price can go up if we have buying pressure, price will go down if we have selling pressure typically. The other part of this indicator is the momentum, money flow, and the VWAP. Momentum is this big blue wave. Money flow is the red and green wave. It changes colors depending on if it's bearish, red, or bullish, green. Then the VWAP is this yellow wave. This yellow wave shows the short-term buying and selling pressure. When it is under neutral, we're more selling. When it's above neutral, we have more buying. It gives the strength to the momentum, which in turn gives the strength to the money flow. The money flow is responsible for showing you what kind of trend you are in and where money is going. If money flow is in the bearish territory, that means we are seeing more sell-offs. If money flow is in the bullish territory, we are seeing more buying pressure. So over on total, we are trying to continue up, so this is good for the altcoins because remember, this is everything but Bitcoin and Ethereum. We do have a bit of a bearish divergence though on momentum. Stochastic wants to round away. We are making a slight bearish divergence there as well. Bearish divergence is created when your stochastic or momentum are making lower highs while price is making consistent or higher highs. Money flow wants to come out. VWAP wants to break to the bearish side. Money flow is starting to stall as that momentum wants to push down and the VWAP is starting to break bearish. If the VWAP favors bearish momentum here, momentum will continue to push down, which will start to weaken our money flow, and then we will see price action start to become more bearish. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are down for like the 7th day in a row now, so like I keep saying, there's bound to be some sort of retracement at this point because we just see red. When you see one way or another favor in candles, that is, like right here, we have a lot of green. We went sideways, got a lot of red and retraced that. Right here, pretty good amount green, very quick move up. We went sideways, retraced some of it, pushed forward, got a very quick move up again, retraced that quick move up, got another quick move up, retraced that move up, and then retraced some of this previous initial move up. That's why even though we got this break up, I've been saying I don't think it'll sustain because we did push up very volatilely. RSI is coming down, stochastic wants to come down, money flow is pushing in that bearish territory, and the VWAP does want to roll here. It is trying to push toward that neutral, so if it can break through and gain some strength, that would be positive for the rest of the market. But if our VWAP rolls over and favors bearish territory here, we're likely going to see a lot more red candles push to this black EMA. Remember, that is our lowest EMA. I did not show how the EMAs are, I apologize for that. So market cipher A, hit that gear, change your inputs to as follow, change your style, colors to as following for EMA 1 through 8, then change your opacity to 70%, then your lines will look like mine. Then you'll see this 300 EMA, that's 300 daily candles because we are on the daily time frame, and if you look back here, input is set to 300. That means that's 300 candles, 300 days. Takes a lot of time for that to move, almost a full year. RSI is coming down, stochastic's coming down, money flow is coming out, VWAP does want to push forward, and momentum is pushing down, trying to roll back up as that VWAP wants to push toward that neutral. So again, if that VWAP breaks toward the bullish territory, that would be good for us, but if the VWAP rolls over and favors bearish territory, it's likely we will start to push to these lower EMAs, at which point if we lose those, we could have a strong move to that point of control, meaning Bitcoin would have some heavy selling pressure. Over on futures, we have a bit of a gap up, starting with tomorrow's candle, after trying to make a bounce off this triangle. That is positive for us to try to continue forward and see a move up, but just keep in mind, we have bearish divergence on momentum, bearish divergence on stochastic, and multiple gaps to the downside. We now have this gap at 43.8 as we try to gap up to 44K. So if we cannot hold this 44K, we do have some gaps to fill down below us, and we would probably invalidate this pattern earlier. Remember, if we fill this 44-43 range gap, we will push to that 40K gap if we break out to the bearish side on this pattern. RSI is overall coming down, stochastic's overall coming down, stochastic has bearish divergence, momentum has bearish divergence. VWAP wants to break into the bullish territory. We are trying to see it sustain some bullish strength. It got a weak low, so if it can favor the bullish territory here, we can see further price action forward and try to hit that 50K area. However, if we are not able to sustain this 44 range and we lose it, there's a high probability we're going to reject and pull under as we keep hitting the zone and we just can't get through it. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we are trying to invalidate that double top, but we are still trying to chop sideways, so we could have some sort of goofy chop sideways. I'm not going to quite delete it yet. RSI is coming out, momentum's overall pushing down while price is trying to stay within this goofy range. We're just below that point of control for our fixed range volume profile. So if you're not sure what the fixed range volume profile is, go over here, hit this arrow, fixed range volume profile, hit the star, it will give you a bar up here. The fixed range volume profile is made up of 4 main parts. You have your value area high up here, red, point of control blue, and value area low, green. You can see that value area low did slightly move up from yesterday. That does show how these ranges do move on a day-to-day basis. We are trying to push near that point of control. If we zoom in, we're just under that point of control right here. So we got a bit of a wick to that point of control and we got a bit of a rejection. If we cannot push through this 43,791 zone and we start to continue to reject from here, it's very likely the bears will ultimately bring us lower. Stochastic's pushing out, RSI is coming down, momentum's pushing down, money flow's coming out. VWAP does want to break into the bullish territory, but I would watch the lower time frames. If the lower time frames start to flip weak, then we could see a bit of a chop to the downside. Over on the 4 hour, we don't quite have a descending channel to push us up from. You might have been able to make this one. We did call out a potential cup and handle. I believe that is on the 1 hour. So there's that cup handle. We managed to push up and continue forward. We did get that full break up, so I'm going to delete that. For anyone wondering where that pattern came from, you need to be in the Discord. So smash that like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, and join us in the Discord link down here, or join us in the link in the description. That way you don't have to type it out. But back to the 4 hour, now that we got rid of that goofy line. Stochastic's pushing forward, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP is starting to roll away after breaking into the bullish territory. Momentum wants to make some bullish strength, and the money flow is pushing forward. So the 4 hour does look pretty good for some bullish strength. We're going to need to sustain these levels and break 44K though. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic is starting to go flat. It wants to start to round, RSI wants to round away. Momentum wants to start to pull back as that VWAP is coming down. If that VWAP breaks that neutral and favors bearish territory from here, this little run up could be short-lived and we could retrace it, especially since there was quite a bit of green there. So we did retrace these quick losses with some gains, but now that we had quick gains, we may retrace that with some steady losses. Over on the 1 hour here, we are starting to kind of reverse. We have a reversal arrow with a green dot. Usually when we see them like this, we do drop from them, so I would watch out. Stochastic has bearish divergence, momentum wants to roll over, VWAP wants to break that neutral. So if our VWAP favors the bearish territory and breaks down from here, we are likely going to see the bears take control. And money flow did cling into the bullish territory. Back here, we did say it needed to start to favor bullish momentum. It started to favor bullishly, or right over here. We got a little bit of bullish favor. We didn't get a very strong bearish break. The money flow stayed in the bullish territory, so that's why we were able to sustain that move that we called out. Over on graph for the daily, we are pushing to the bottom of our pattern. We tried to break out, so I would watch out. Stochastic wants to round away. Momentum has a double red dot signaling that it wants to sell off. VWAP is breaking into that bearish territory, money flow is starting to come down, momentum has bearish divergence, RSI wants to come down, so overall we do look like we could see some sell-off here if we're not careful. Over on the 4-hour, RSI is pretty flat, stochastic's overall trending out, starting to get the orange above the blue, so we may see a sell-off on the stochastic, which would bring that RSI down most likely. VWAP tried to break into the bullish territory, got rejected, and it's starting to favor bearishly. If we do not get another green candle after this green candle and solidify a bounce off the bottom of this channel, it's likely this will just be a break back in, a retest, and then a potential loss of the range. So watch out for that possibility, as that could set us up to be around that 1788 and then possibly slide to that 16316 again. RSI is pretty flat, stochastic is starting to go pretty flat. It does want to round away, so watch out for it to pick up some bearish strength here. Momentum's starting to push out with the red dot as that VWAP is pushing into the bearish territory, and money flow is very indecisive. If our VWAP favors bearishly here, momentum's likely going to break bearish with that money flow, and then we could see the bears break this range, start to push us lower, and start to gain control, so we're not quite out of the woods yet. Stochastic has bearish divergence and it's starting to push down very quickly, but price action is not reacting very drastically yet. We do have a manipulation X that wanted to bring us down, but the bulls managed to step in and push us forward with that long upper shadow candle. A long upper shadow typically shows that the bulls are running out of steam. We almost got 2 of them in a row, so I would just watch. We are struggling to break these EMAs. If we cannot get a strong green candle, either this candle or next, it is likely we could start to roll away and push down. So just watch out for the next few candles. They could start to spill some trouble for us. Over on Anchor for the daily, stochastic's pushing down, RSI wants to come out, momentum's overall pushing down, money flow is pretty flat, VWAP wants to push into that neutral and start to gain some bullish strength. We do have some long lower shadows, so inverse of what we just covered, those do want to push us up and toward that value area high. Over on the 4-hour, we are trying to push the top of this resistance area for our channel. If we can break out, we may invalidate it, so keep an eye on that. Remember, money flow is bullish, so we do still have a potential to invalidate bearish patterns. Stochastic does want to round away, RSI wants to round, VWAP wants to round, and our money flow is trying to gain some strength. Momentum is trying to push forward, so if the VWAP continues to favor bullish territory and doesn't break into the bearish territory, we could continue a push to the upside from here. Over on the 2-hour, we do have a reversal arrow after getting all these green candles, just green, 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 one after another. So that's signaling we may see a bit of a sell-off. So just exercise some caution. That sell-off could bring us to this black EMA, potentially losing that and pushing back to the support level of this channel. At which point then we would be in for some lower lows. Stochastic wants to round away, RSI wants to push forward, money flow is looking a little dicey, it is in the bullish territory, but the VWAP's starting to round off and push toward the neutral. If VWAP breaks bearishly, we could see the money flow start to weaken here. Momentum is pushing forward, but that's starting to round as well. Over on the 1-hour, we got that reversal arrow, got bullish engulfing candles to try and invalidate it. So if we can get continued green candles from here, that would be bullish and we could try to push away from this channel. However, if we start seeing some red candles, just be wary and watch for a drop. Stochastic wants to come down, RSI is starting to come down as a result, momentum wants to round away as that VWAP's overall losing strength. If the VWAP does not reclaim some strong bullish momentum here, we are likely going to see the bears gain control and round us away from this price action and ultimately rejecting this resistance. Over on XRP for the daily, we are making bounce off our point of control here, trying to continue toward the resistance of our channel. Stochastic wants to round away, momentum wants to round, VWAP is favoring bullish momentum, and our momentum's pushing forward as a result. Money flow is clinging to bullish territory, so the daily does look decent, but just watch the lower time frames to be sure we don't round away here. Over on the 4-hour, Stochastic does want to start to round, RSI would start to round as a result, momentum's starting to round away, making slight bearish divergence here, VWAP wants to round away, So overall, the 4 hours not looking too good. The money flow is in the bullish territory, but if everything else pulls back and starts to favor bearishly, we could see the snap to the downside. You are seeing we are going pretty flat overall for VWAP and money flow, because the closer you get to the tip of these triangles, the flatter your oscillators and indicators tend to get. So they can be kind of hard to read when you're very close to the top of the pattern. Stochastic does want to round away here on the 2 hour. RSI wants to come down. Momentum wants to round away with a red dot. Money flow wants to come out, and that VWAP wants to break into the bearish territory. If this VWAP favors bearish territory here, we could see a rollover and start to see the 4 hour weaken. Over on the 1 hour, Stochastic's taking a nosedive. RSI is coming down. It's likely going to roll away if the Stochastic does not rebound at some point soon. Momentum is starting to come down as that VWAP is favoring bearish momentum. If this VWAP cannot regain bullish strength and it rounds away from this neutral, we will see the bears take over, and then that will give us a chance to see this pattern play out, or at least get to the support of our pattern. Finally, for algo for the daily, we are seeing a little bit of a red candle, so not like the rest of the market. We are trying to push forward. We did kind of come toward the top of that golden pocket, so just keep an eye out. Remember, these golden pockets are heavily manipulated areas. Now you see we have this second volume profile on top of our other volume profile. This Fibonacci retracement, sorry. I'm going to delete that Fibonacci retracement and pull this one over, because this one includes the bull market. The other one was just the bear market itself. So we do still have a potential to see a manipulative move around this zone. I'm just not going to pay too much more attention to it. Just watch out for a move that would put us like near the bottom of this 1954. So we do still have a Fibonacci zone. It doesn't completely go away. Momentum's overall pushing down. We do have bearish divergence on momentum. We have bearish divergence on stochastic. RSI is coming down. VWAP's favoring bearish territory. So I would just watch the daily closely. If we start to weaken on these other lower time frames, then that daily could round over. Over on the 4 hour, that double manipulation X did bring us down. We retraced some of the losses because they were quick, and now it does look like we have the potential to retrace some more of these gains now, because we got a quick move up. RSI is coming down. Stochastic wants to round. VWAP's pretty flat here. Money flow is going flat, and momentum's not sure what it wants to do. If this VWAP rejects and pushes under that neutral, the bears will overall pull us under. But if VWAP can favor the bullish territory, we may still have some gas left to push through that 25-cent zone. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic starting to round away. RSI is pretty flat. RSI is overall losing strength. VWAP does want to come down. We zoom in, that VWAP is trying to break through that neutral, giving that momentum a red dot, and money flow looks like it wants to break as well. If the 2 hour makes a break here, we could see price action start to spill over, start to break some of these EMAs. However, if we make it bounce here, we're likely going to hit that 25 and try to continue beyond it. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a double manipulation X here after we got that other manipulation dump, so just watch out for another one. It is on the 1 hour though, so take it with a grain of salt. We had one back here, didn't really do much. Stochastic's coming down. RSI wants to come down as a result. Momentum's starting to push down, and the VWAP is starting to go into the bearish territory. If we favor bearish territory, it's a little bit more time in the bearish zone here than back here. If we start to spend more time in the bearish territory and favor it, then it's likely we will start to round away and see the manipulation X's play out. However, if VWAP breaks bullish and starts to gain some steam from here, then it's very likely we will invalidate the manipulation X's and try to break that 25-cent zone. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.